Hello everyone, and welcome to this movie review for Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is the first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie since the Infinity War, and honestly, that doesn't matter at all. As in, the movie takes place before that. It's made clear in the first few minutes, so don't worry about that, and I think that's been stated in multiple articles as well. Honestly, the more relevant movies before this one are Ant-Man, of course, and Civil War. Because this movie is more a sequel for Scott Lang's, the character of Scott Lang, post-Civil War, and has honestly nothing to do with Infinity War. So, honestly, I went into this movie a little wary, both because a lot of people have not had good opinions of it. I've heard okay things, mixed things for the most part, very little good things. And a lot of people, for some reason, didn't like the original Ant-Man. Now, Ant-Man is actually one of my favorite Marvel movies in the comedy category. Again, I split the Marvel movies into a comedy category and a serious category, most of which falling under the latter, but more should be under the former because it's Marvel. Marvel is based on comedy. So I went into this really wary. I was a little concerned that it was definitely a movie where all the gimmicks were done in the trailers, that the plot was summarized to many reviews I had already heard from people who have seen the movie before the release. And honestly, I didn't agree with either of those. I feel that there was still a lot more visual stuff, a lot more story stuff that wasn't in the trailers. I feel that the plot wasn't easily summarized, or at least in the way of, oh, everybody wants a building, is pretty much what some people have summarized it as. And it's just like, no. The plot is actually a lot more deep than that. Not really deep, but it's deeper than that. And honestly, this is probably the most emotional Marvel film so far. I genuinely almost came to tears twice during the film, and not just emotional in the sense of like, oh hey, it's like no, this one you just feel more from it. It's not a oh hey look somebody's trying to destroy the world kind of plot. The plot is definitely more of a thing that makes sense for Scott Lang Ant-Man as opposed to Hank Pym Ant-Man, who is still involved. The primary point of the plot is still, let's go find Janet. And I'm glad that was the plot. Ghost was a good character. I do agree with some things that I've heard, that the character was not the comic book version, and I'm very glad. The comic book version of Ghost, while an interesting villain, is a genuinely creepy character. Not his powers make him creepy. The person that is the character of Ghost is a creepy individual and would not have fit well in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, this is stranger danger level of creepy. I appreciate the character in the comics, but I do not want to see that character on screen for any long period of time with character development. With that said, this is definitely now one of my top 3 comic Marvel films. It is still very comic with all the emotional stuff in it. And again, that emotion is not just, oh, heartwarming or tear-jerking. It was a lot of, they managed to get me to feel empathetic for some of the villains. They managed to do all sorts of different kind of things in terms of just like, hey, let's pull this right. They also got to show a lot more acting capabilities. This wasn't a heavy amount of CGI. This was honestly a lot of, let the actors portray these characters or the screwy things that are going on. There's one of the 2 scenes that almost brought me to tears was really good acting on the part of the lead actor. Like, really good. Still, the scene was comical, but for other reasons it almost brought me to tears. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. I really do recommend seeing this one. I don't know about in theaters, but eventually. It doesn't feel like it's necessary for the whole of the Marvel MCU, and the movies that I've mentioned beforehand that make sense to see are summarized in the beginning, so you don't need to actually see them. But if you want more details, that helps. Regardless, like I said, go see the movie at some point. So, that's all for now, folks. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to press the like button. If you think somebody else will enjoy this, please share this video. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and press the dislike button. I won't mind, but please try to leave a constructive comment as to why. Also, if you want to comment in general, feel free to. This would be the good point to ask, hey, what is your opinion on this or that in the Marvel universe, be it the comics or movies, or any other movie, or do past theatrical release reviews if you want to hear my thoughts on those. All sorts of different kind of things. Also, if you want to see more like this, be it more movie reviews, video game reviews, or anything else that I do on this channel, which is mostly not reviews, honestly, feel free to subscribe. Regardless, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.